Hello everyone, I'm Steve Grizzetti, man from Movie Picks and author of the Movie Picks Guide to Adobe Premiere Elements, and here we are in Premiere Elements looking at some of the tools and some of the techniques in the program. Now we've got some photos here. I've created a slideshow with a number of photos on the timeline, and I would like to add some life to the photos by creating pan and zooms, what are commonly called Ken Burns effects, where we're going to move from position to position on these photos, zoom in a little bit, pan around on the photo, and how to create those motions. Now there actually is a tool built into the program over on the toolbar on the right. In the toolkit there's one called Pan and Zoom. I've done a tutorial on the Pan and Zoom tool and shown you why I don't particularly like this tool. But we're going to do it manually this time using motion paths that we'll create using keyframes. Now the principle of keyframes is very simple. With keyframes we create a position or a setting for an effect, and then we create down the timeline another setting for the effect. The program will then create an animation between those two settings. So in other words, it's going to create the pan and zoom animation based on the two or more settings that we have for the motion and zoom positions that we'll create on the timeline. I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's select this photo on our timeline, go over to the toolbar on the right, and we're going to select the effects controller. Now that is the FX with the little pencil on it, and open that up. And you see, you can toggle this open if it's not open. Under motion, we have a number of positions that we can set for positions, scale, rotation, anchor point, anti-flicker filter, on and on and on. We're going to mainly focus on position and scale in this exercise, because with position and scale, we can control how close we get to the picture and where on the picture we're focusing our camera. Now, in order to create the actual animation, we're also going to need the keyframe controller. To get to that, we go to the upper right-hand corner of this effects controller and click on the little stopwatch. That will open up a keyframe controller, which is not very big. You can drag on the side of this panel and widen it out, and you can drag and widen out this area also, so we can see what's going on here in our keyframe controller. It's got a playhead that corresponds to the playhead on our timeline. We'll position that right at the beginning of the photo. And now we'll create our initial or our starting point for our motion path. I can change position and scale positions a number of ways. The simplest way to create or to change scale is to just drag right across that number. It says 36% right now. I'm just going to drag across it and zoom in on my photo a little bit. There we go. Position, I can also drag across these numbers to move it up and down and left and right, but I prefer to use a more intuitive way. If I select the motion listing here in my effects controller, notice that I can now drag my picture into whatever position I'd like. So let's start with this wide shot of the boy and his grandpa, and then we'll mark the keyframe position for these settings. In other words, if I go over here to position and click on the stopwatch to the left of it, and I go over here to scale and click on the stopwatch to the left of it, notice it creates these little diamond-shaped keyframes on the mini timeline here in our keyframe controller. This is the starting point for our motion path. Now I'm going to drag the playhead down to about 7/8 of the way down the little timeline. This represents the running time of this photo on the timeline, or this still picture on the timeline. And now I'll create my second position for my keyframe. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. It's now at 50%. I'm going to drag across that and zoom in a little bit here to about 73%. I could also just manually select it and type in 70% or whatever number I want. Once again, I'm going to select motion, the listing here in the effects control panel, and I'll drag my picture into position. You notice there's a little blue line that runs across here. This is the motion path between the two positions. And notice as I create or as I change these settings for scale and position, that automatically here in my keyframe controller are new keyframes created. And that's really as simple as it gets. That is basic keyframing. If I drag the playhead back and forth through here or scrub through here, you notice that I get the animation between those two keyframe positions. That's all there is to it. If I play it, clicking the play button, there is my pan and zoom motion. It's not that much harder than using the tool. In fact, I think it's much easier than using the tool because you're not fighting against the pan and zoom tool as I show you in my other tutorial. But understanding keyframing is really the key to higher power with the program. With this, you can create a lot of animated effects. You can create animated audio effects. You can create animated video effects. You can change positions of things. You can rotate your video in space. You can do a lot of really cool stuff simply by using the basic principles I just taught you here in basic keyframing. Now, if you want to know more about keyframing and all of the possibilities with it, if you want to know more about this program, sure to check out all the tips and tutorials I have at YouTube. And if you want to know everything about the program, check out the Movie Picks Guide to Adobe Premiere Elements. It's available on Amazon.com, and I'm the author. My name's Steve Grizzetti. Thanks for spending time with me. I hope to see you again real soon.